Mindfulness of breathing as an example of meditation practice. Having described general principles of meditation practice, it seems appropriate now to give an example of how to develop a specific technique of the 40 meditation techniques. The chosen one here is the meditation on in and out breathing, anapanasati. A. Special attributes of mindfulness of breathing. There are many reasons for choosing the meditation on breathing. It is a very convenient method for developing concentration, as it uses the breathing, which is a natural part of every person's life. This meditation can be practiced at any time and in any place. It is not necessary to prepare any meditation tools, as is the case for kasina meditation. It uses a material object, the breath, as its object of attention, which is adequately clear for the mind's focus. The breath is not as subtle as those immaterial phenomena used in other meditation techniques, which must be brought to mind by way of perception, sanya. This practice is also very simple and does not require an analysis of phenomena, as is the case with, say, a meditation on the elements. All a person needs to do is be mindful and focus on the breath. Those people whose minds are tired from thinking a lot can practice mindfulness of breathing without difficulty. A person derives benefits from this practice from the very start. One needs not wait until one achieves specific levels of concentration. The body becomes relaxed and rested, and the mind experiences progressively deeper levels of peace. Unskillful mental states are eliminated and skillful states are enhanced. This meditation is not detrimental to physical health, as confirmed by the Buddha's own experience. When I dwelled frequently in this abiding of concentration by mindfulness of breathing, my body was not fatigued, my eyes were not tired. This is unlike other meditation techniques which entail standing, walking, or gazing at a meditation object. On the contrary, meditation on breathing improves a person's physical health by providing the body with an opportunity to rest, and by balancing, regulating, and refining the entire system of breathing. Think of someone who is running or climbing a hill, or someone who is frightened or angry. His breathing will be more rapid than normal. Sometimes breathing through the nose is not enough, and the person needs to breathe through the mouth as well. On the other hand, the breathing of someone whose body is relaxed and whose mind is at ease is more subtle and fine. Mindfulness of breathing calms the body and mind and gradually refines the breath to the point where the breath becomes almost imperceptible. The body then is in a state of well-being and relies on a minimal amount of energy consumption. The body is refreshed, the aging process is slowed down, and a person is able to work more while at the same time requiring less rest. It is one of only 12 types of meditation which result in the highest level of concentration, the fourth jhana, and lead to the formless jhanas up to the attainment cessation, nirodha samapatti. Mindfulness of breathing is considered a cardinal and complete form of meditation. One does not need to worry about finding another technique to alternate or combine it with. This is confirmed by the Buddha. Therefore, if a monk wishes may enter and dwell in the fourth jhana, he should closely attend to this same concentration by mindfulness of breathing. If a monk wishes, may I completely transcend the base of nothingness and enter and dwell in the base of neither perception nor non-perception. May I completely transcend the base of neither perception nor non-perception and enter and dwell in the cessation of perception and feeling. You should closely attend to this same concentration by mindfulness of breathing. It can be used for both tranquility meditation, samatha, and for insight meditation, vipassana. One can practice mindfulness of breathing with the sole wish of reaching concentrative attainments, or one can use it as a basis for developing all four foundations of mindfulness. It fully enables a concentrated mind to be the field of practice for wisdom. It is a way of developing concentration highly praised by the Buddha, who often encouraged the monks to practice mindfulness of breathing. The Buddha himself often applied this practice as a mental abiding, vihara dhamma, both before and after his awakening. Monks, this concentration by mindfulness of breathing, when developed and cultivated, is peaceful and sublime, a refreshing, pleasant abiding, and it dispels and quells right on the spot evil, unwholesome states whenever they arise. Just as in the last month of the hot season, when a mass of dust and dirt has swirled up, a great rain cloud out of season disperses it and quells it on the spot. So too, concentration by mindfulness of breathing dispels and quells on the spot evil, unwholesome states whenever they arise. Monks, speaking rightly, one should say that concentration by mindfulness of breathing is a noble abiding, Arya Vihara, a divine abiding, Brahma Vihara, the Tathagata's abiding, Tathagata Vihara. Those monks who are trainees, who have not attained the fruit of arahantship, who aspire to unsurpassed security and well-being, yoga kema, for them concentration by mindfulness of breathing, when developed and cultivated, leads to the destruction of the tents. Those monks who are arahants, whose tents are destroyed, for them concentration by mindfulness of breathing, when developed and cultivated, leads to a pleasant abiding in the present moment and to mindfulness and clear comprehension. Monks, it so happened that before my awakening, while I was still a bodhisattva, not yet fully enlightened, I frequently dwelled in this abiding of concentration by mindfulness of breathing. While I frequently dwelt in this abiding, neither my body nor my eyes became fatigued, and my mind, by not clinging, was liberated from the tent. Therefore, monks, if a monk wishes, may neither my body nor my eyes become fatigued, and may my mind, by not clinging, be liberated from the tents. This same concentration by mindfulness of breathing should be closely attended to. On one occasion, the Blessed One was dwelling in the Ichanangala wood near the town of Ichanangala. There the Blessed One addressed the monks thus: Monks, I wish to go into seclusion for 3 months. I should not be approached by anyone except for the monk who brings me alms food. Then, when those 3 months had passed, the Blessed One emerged from seclusion and addressed the monks thus: Monks, if wanderers of other sects ask you, In what abiding did the ascetic Gautama primarily dwell during the range residence? Being asked thus, you should answer those wanderers thus: during the range residence, friends, the Blessed One dwelt primarily in the concentration by mindfulness of breathing. Concentration by mindfulness of breathing, Ananda, is key. When developed and cultivated, it fulfills the four foundations of mindfulness. The four foundations of mindfulness, when developed and cultivated, fulfill the seven factors of enlightenment. The seven factors of enlightenment, when developed and cultivated, fulfill true knowledge and liberation. Rahula, when mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated in this way, even the final in-breaths and out-breaths are known as they cease, not unknown. B. Buddha's words describing mindfulness of breathing. To begin with, here is the method of practicing mindfulness of breathing as taught by the Buddha, and how bhikkhus is mindfulness of breathing developed and cultivated so that it is of great fruit and benefit. 1. Here a monk in this dhamma and discipline A goes to the forest, to the foot of a tree, or to an empty hut. B. Sits with legs folded crosswise, straightens his body, and establishes mindfulness in front of him. That is, he makes effort in meditation and focuses on the breath. C. Mindfully he breathes out, mindfully he breathes in. 2. The first group of four factors can be used for developing the foundation of mindfulness regarding contemplation of the body. Kayanu pasana satipatthana. 1. Breathing out long, he knows I breathe out long. Breathing in long, he knows I breathe in long. 2. Breathing out short, he knows I breathe out short. Breathing in short, he knows I breathe in short. 3. He trains thus, being aware of the whole body, I will breathe out. He trains thus, being aware of the whole body, I will breathe in. 4. He trains thus, calming the bodily formation, I will breathe out. He trains thus, calming the bodily formation, I will breathe in. The second group of four factors can be used for developing the foundation of mindfulness regarding contemplation of feelings, Vedana nupassana satipatthana. 5. He trains thus, clearly knowing delight, I will breathe out. He trains thus, clearly knowing delight, I will breathe in. 6. He trains thus, clearly knowing happiness, I will breathe out. He trains thus, clearly knowing happiness, I will breathe in. 7. He trains thus, clearly knowing the mental formation, I will breathe out. He trains thus, clearly knowing the mental formation, I will breathe in. 8. He trains thus, calming the mental formation, I will breathe out. He trains thus, calming the mental formation, I will breathe in. The third group of four factors can be used for developing the foundation of mindfulness regarding contemplation of the mind, citta nupassana satipatthana. 9. He trains thus, clearly knowing the mind, I will breathe out. He trains thus, clearly knowing the mind, I will breathe in. 10. He trains thus, gladdening the mind, I will breathe out. He trains thus, gladdening the mind, I will breathe in. 11. He trains thus, concentrating the mind, I will breathe out. He trains thus, concentrating the mind, I will breathe in. 12. He trains thus, liberating the mind, I will breathe out. He trains thus, liberating the mind, I will breathe in. The fourth group of four factors can be used for developing the foundation of mindfulness in regarding contemplation of mind objects, Dhamma nupassana satipatthana. 13. He trains thus, contemplating impermanence, I will breathe out. He trains thus, contemplating impermanence, I will breathe in. 14. He trains thus, contemplating detachment, I will breathe out. He trains thus, contemplating detachment, I will breathe in. 15. He trains thus, contemplating cessation, I will breathe out. He trains thus, contemplating cessation, I will breathe in. 16. He trains thus, contemplating relinquishment, I will breathe out. He trains thus, contemplating relinquishment, I will breathe in. Here I will explain the practice in brief, limited to the development of tranquility samatha within the first tetrad, the first group of 4 factors. See method of practice in the context of tranquility meditation samatha. 1. Preparation. Location. If one wishes to practice meditation in earnest, one should first seek out a quiet and secluded place which is free from loud noises and other disturbing sense impressions. Finding such a supportive environment for practice is especially important for beginners of meditation. This is similar to someone who's learning how to swim. One will begin by using flotation devices and swim in still, non-turbulent water. If one faces unavoidable disturbances, however, or if one is engaged in a specific activity requiring a certain level of disruption, then one should do one's best under the circumstances. Sitting posture. The main principle here is to find a sitting posture affording the greatest degree of physical relaxation and ease. One should choose whichever posture leads to a minimum level of fatigue, even when sitting for long periods of time, and which allows the breathing to be smooth and comfortable. The sitting posture, which countless meditation masters have verified to be the best, is the lotus posture. This posture is very stable and balanced. The upper body is held erect and the ends of the 18 vertebrae are aligned. Body tissues and tendons are not twisted and breathing is smooth. The body of a person skilled at this posture feels light and unburdened. He or she can remain in this position for exceptionally long periods without feeling discomfort. This is conducive to concentration. A person's meditation does not falter, but rather progresses steadily. The traditional way of explaining this posture is to place one's ankles up against the lower abdomen. One can either overlap both legs, full lotus, or lift one's right leg on top of one's left leg, half lotus. One places one's hands by one's lower abdomen, with the right hand on top of the left, either touching the tips of one's thumb or 2 thumbs together, or touching one's right index finger to the tip of one's left thumb. Many of these details depend on the physical balance of an individual. It is to the advantage of beginners if they can train in this posture. But if it is too uncomfortable, they can sit upright in a chair or choose another suitable posture. The teachings reiterate that if one is sitting with chronic tension and physical stress, then something is wrong, and one should rectify the situation before proceeding. In regards to meditating with one's eyes open or closed, it depends on what gives a sense of ease and does not lead to distraction. If one keeps one's eyes open, then one can look down at the ground or perhaps at the tip of one's nose, depending on what feels comfortable. When one is sitting at ease before starting to meditate, many teachers recommend breathing in deeply and slowly, filling one's lungs 2 or 3 times and generating a sense of inner spaciousness and clarity. Then one is ready to focus on the breathing. To commencing meditation on the breath. The commentators present some additional meditation methods to supplement the Buddha's instructions described above. A. Counting. Ganana. When beginning to pay attention to the long and short in and out breaths, the commentators recommend counting the breath as well, for this will help keep the mind focused. Counting is separated into 2 stages. In the first stage, one counts slowly and in a relaxed way. The recommended tactic or strategy here is to count to not less than 5 and to not more than 10, and to count the numbers in order. If one counts to less than 5, the mind is agitated by the short interval of time. If one counts to more than 10, the mind is anxious about counting rather than staying with the breath. And if one counts in a disconnected manner, the mind gets confused. One counts the in and out breaths in pairs. Out breath 1, in breath 1, out breath 2, in breath 2, until one reaches 5 and 5. Then one begins again, 1 and 1, until one reaches 6 and 6 and begins again. One keeps adding another pair until one reaches 10 and 10, and then one returns to the original 5 pairs in a repeated cycle. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6. The same plus 7, 7. The same plus 8, 8. Same plus 9, 9. And 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. And then back to 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, etc. In the second stage, one counts in quicker succession. When the in and out breaths are clearly evident, when attention rests with the breathing and does not get dispersed outwards, one ceases to count using the same number twice as described above, and one begins to count single numbers. Here one does not need to pay attention to the entire process of breathing. One focuses only on the breath as it reaches the tip of the nostrils. First one counts from 1 to 5, then from 1 to 6, adding another number in each sequence until one reaches 10. Then one returns to counting from 1 to 5. Counting in this way, one's meditation will be more connected, as if it has no gaps. One keeps one's attention solely on the spot where the breath makes contact, either at the tip of the nostrils or at the upper lip, wherever there is a clear sensation. The counting can be illustrated thus: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. One counts in this way until one reaches a point where, although one has ceased counting, mindfulness is still firmly established on the breath. Firmly established mindfulness is the object of counting to sever the stream of restless, incoherent thoughts. B. Taking note anubandhana. When attention is established on the breath, one stops counting and mindfully takes note of the breath in an uninterrupted stream. Taking note here does not mean following the breath with attention through its various stages of beginning, middle and end. As it passes through the nose, travels through the upper chest and reaches the navel, and then returns from the belly area to the chest and finally out through the nose. If one does this, the body and mind will become agitated and the practice will be ineffective. The correct way to take note is to mindfully observe the breath at the point of contact, at the tip of the nostrils or at the upper lip. It is similar to cutting a log with a long saw. One keeps attention fixed on the point where the teeth of the saw meet the wood, and one thus witnesses the coming and going of the saw. One does not glance from one end of the saw to the other as it moves. Although one keeps attention only at the point of contact, one is fully aware of the complete motion of the saw, and by these means one succeeds in the task. This is the same for a meditator. When one establishes attention at the point of breath's contact and refrains from following the complete circuit of the breath, one is fully aware of the cycle of breathing and one's practice bears fruit. At this stage, some people will soon have a mental image, nimitta, arise, and they will quickly reach attainment concentration. For others, the process will be more gradual. From the time of counting the breath will become increasingly refined. The body will become exceptionally relaxed, and both the mind and body will feel light, as if one is floating in space. When a coarse level of breathing ceases, the person will retain a mental image of the refined breath as an object of attention. And even when this mental image fades away, new mental images of successively more refined levels of breath remain in the mind. This is similar to when a person strikes a bell or a gong with a rod and produces a loud noise. A long-lasting, reverberating sound remains as a mental impression or mental sign, nimitta. At first this sign is coarse and then becomes gradually more faint. At this point, however, a difficulty arises specific to the meditation on breath. Unlike with other meditation techniques, in which the more one focuses, the clearer the meditation object becomes. Here, the more one develops this meditation, the more refined the breath becomes, until the sensation of breathing completely disappears. There is thus no longer an object on which to focus. When this phenomenon occurs, the commentaries advise against getting worried and breaking off the meditation, but rather to retrieve the breath. Retrieving the breath is not difficult. One needs not go off in search of it. Simply establish mindfulness at the usual point of contact is enough. One reflects the breath makes contact with the body. Here, soon it will reappear. By continuing this focus in an uninterrupted way, a mental image will soon appear. Mental images or signs, nimitta, appear differently for different people. Some people experience it as similar to cotton wool or kapok, others like a slightly rough cotton cloth or notched wood. Some say it is like a gentle breeze, for others it appears as a star, a jewel, a pearl, a necklace, a garland, smoke, a spiderweb, a cloud, a lotus, a disk, or even like the moon and sun. These differences exist because a nimitta arises from a person's perception, sanya, which is different for each individual. When a nimitta arises, the meditator should first go and inform the teacher as a way to verify the experience and to avoid misunderstanding, and then steadily establish attention on that image. With the arising of this counterpart sign, pratibhaga nimitta, the hindrances are quelled, mindfulness is strong, and the mind reaches access concentration. Here the meditator should try and protect this image, i.e. to protect the state of concentration, by avoiding the 7 unsuitable conditions and engaging in the 7 suitable conditions. He or she should meditate diligently in order to develop the image by following the practices leading to attainment concentration, the 10 skills for attainment, appanna kosala. For example, by making consistent effort until eventually attainment concentration is reached and the person achieves the first jhana.